Hello, it's Michelle Morand here. Today I want to talk with you about the importance of gratitude. Yes, I'm one of those people. I believe that noticing, looking for things to be grateful for, acknowledging the things you're grateful for, really demonstrating and expressing gratitude to the people in your life and for the things that you have in your life is really a critical element of good mental health, actually, and has a profound impact on your binging, I promise. Think of it this way: when you are focusing on things that are causing you stress or worrying about things in your past or future possibilities, um, you feel unwell, you feel stressed, you feel anxious, you feel restless, you have a hard time being in the present moment, and you go looking for your substances or activities of choice to help you distract yourself and numb out. Gratitude is the exact opposite. When you're focusing on something that you're appreciating about someone or something in the moment, however small, you get a lovely little hit of dopamine. If it pertains to your community, the world around you, or someone near you, you also get a nice little hit of oxytocin. So you get this nice happy and this nice kind of bonding, connected feeling just from one moment of acknowledging something that you appreciate about someone or something or yourself. And of course, the more of those moments of dopamine and oxytocin hit that we can string together, the more happy and peaceful and fulfilled and connected and secure you're going to feel as you go through every day. It's that simple. So, where you focus your mind, your energy, and attention directly affects the hormones that you're releasing. Are you releasing the cortisol, the stress hormones, or are you releasing those happy or bonding hormones of dopamine or oxytocin? It's all, or I won't say all, because of course we've talked about how there can be some physiological triggers, certainly chronic illness. Certainly we can be born with um, a, a lower than average, if we can say that about the human brain, amount of dopamine and oxytocin. But largely, the vast majority of the time, what is influencing whether you are feeling peaceful, secure, content, happy, fulfilled in your life versus whether you're feeling stressed or anxious and needing to numb out, distract yourself in some way, regardless of the consequences. The big difference between whether you're going to be feeling one way or the other is where you're focusing your attention. And I understand there are things in your life, almost certainly right now, given what's going on in every nation and globally, um, that are genuinely stressful. Might be certain people that you're spending a lot of time with right now who aren't capable of some of the healthy relationship skills we've talked about so far in this program. It might be certain financial problems that you're having that are legitimately causing you stress as to whether you'll have a roof over your head next month or be able to take care of things the way that you'd like to. Maybe someone that you care about is not well or is struggling in some way. There's just so many things that could legitimately be affecting you and causing you to have stressful moments. And I want you to be authentic with yourself about that. I want you to be honest with yourself about the fact that you have certain things or people in your life that are causing you distress. And I want you to also cultivate the ability to notice the things that you appreciate, whether about those people or things, or whether about something separate entirely, something that makes you just stop and notice the world in a different way, something that just makes your day a little easier or just allows you to have a little more flow in your day. It doesn't have to be anything major. In other words, gratitude allows you to automatically change the chemistry of your brain. It's a super pill that you're in total control of. Whether you focus on something you're appreciative of, like I only had to spend 5 minutes with that person who annoys the hell out of me. Yeah, that was great. Maybe because you learned how to say no. Maybe you put that sticky by the phone, like I instructed you to do earlier. And you are now far more able to just take care of yourself in the moment, to not commit to things that aren't right for you. That right there is something to be grateful for. Your ability to notice more easily whether you're feeling peaceful or not. Your genuine curiosity about where that's coming from. Your ability to figure out what it is that you really need in that situation versus just continue to spin and cause yourself stress with all or nothing stories. That's something to be grateful for. There's just so many things that if we're just paying attention in this moment, that we can acknowledge that we're grateful for, which again is not the same thing as saying that we don't have other legitimate significant stressors at this time in our life, or big pieces we're working through, or just situations that are not satisfying to us. It's important that we're 100% transparent with ourselves, that we're honest about what's really happening in our life. But if you're honest with yourself, you'll have to admit that you have a tendency, as all human brains do until we learn otherwise, to focus more on what's wrong, to focus more on the things that you're concerned about, the things that your instinctive brain thinks might cause you the most problems, and therefore you need to be paying the closest attention to. The reality is, the more that you focus on that, the more that you'll experience that stress, the less you're able to problem solve and really sort things out. And unfortunately, the more problems you end up having as a rule. So, what we want to be able to do, as we've talked about often through this program, is we've talked about noticing whether you're feeling peaceful or not, getting immediately curious about what it is that you were just thinking or what just happened that could be influencing how you're feeling, and really holding yourself accountable to make sure that what you're telling yourself is happening, what it is that you're thinking about is actually based in reality, not worry, not assumption, not because it happened in the past that must be what's happening now kind of thinking. That's a failure of critical thinking. It's a failure of adult reasoning, and it's just kind of zombie like automatic thinking. And that's the type of thinking that will lead you to your binging. So, in summary, you being able to be honest with yourself about the things that are causing you distress, don't cover them up with food, be transparent, be honest, and see them clearly. And being grateful, even for your ability to start to do that, to be able to move through things with greater self care, self dignity, and respect, is a wonderful gesture to yourself. It will change the way you feel in the moment, and it will change the trajectory of your day. And that will make it easier for you to get through the day without needing food to cope. It'll put you in the right headspace and the right focus. So I really want you to think in terms of my core foundation is me being aware of how I'm feeling and what those feelings are telling me about what is actually happening in my world and what I need. And I want you to be aware of how the way that you're thinking, the focus that you place on the things that are working in your life or feeling good in your life versus the focus that you place on the things that you appreciate or even would like to create in your life, and starting to focus on steps you can take to make that happen, um, directly change your brain chemistry. How much stress hormone, cortisol, you have on board versus how much dopamine and oxytocin. And as we've talked about repeatedly through this program, it's that ratio of cortisol to dopamine and oxytocin that largely influences whether you're going to go off the rails and use your coping strategies that you don't want to use, or whether you're going to be able to stay grounded and make choices that make you happy in the moment and also down the road. All right, so I want you to read your email, look into the exercise that I sent you about gratitude, some suggestions for how to focus on the things that are truly bringing you joy, or for which you're grateful. Doesn't have to be anything major, but it will make a big difference. Have a great day.